folks, it's the Creepy Kentuckian here with you again from DEADPIT Radio. Today, a little bit different of a video for you guys. As a lot of you guys may know, if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook or any of those social media sites or the DEADPIT channels or any of that, I made my very first trip up to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Monroeville, Evans City, to visit the sites, because I had heard many people say over the years, the popularity of malls are dying, right? So that put a little bit of fear in my heart about, hey, what if Monroeville Mall closed? I never visited the mall. I never saw the sites up there or anything. And starting a year or two ago, my wife and I were like, well, let's go when we go on vacation or little weekend trips or whatever. Let's hit up some spots that we have never been to before. So this was one of those spots. Monroeville in Pittsburgh with the Monroeville Mall and the graveyard and all that from Night of the Living Dead. Even the Creep Show house we got to check out. So we went up there in conjunction, sort of, with the Living Dead weekend, which they've been doing for the last few years, at the mall. And I think they did a few of them in Evans City as well. But I think they're just down to doing one per year. So this is the one show per year. Convention wise. And I was like, well, if we're going to go, let's just go in conjunction, let's time it with that weekend and we'll check the show out, which we did. Now, I didn't get hardly anything from the actual convention. It was Sunday evening by the time we got in there, right near closing. So a lot of the vendors and everything were packing up, and we just didn't really shoot that much. We didn't shoot anything. I don't think I had anything actually from the convention rooms or all that, but I did take photos and videos and all that, and kind of wanted to do a little bit of a brief summary of the weekend and, talk you guys through it and everything. So, it's memorializing our visit, and who knows if we'll ever come back. I'm thinking we may come back. Pittsburgh is the eccentric town. It's got a lot of character and everything. So I think we all had fun, and we did go on the trip with a couple of good friends of ours, Rob Scott and his wife, Kelly. Rob I've known for many, many years, and we kind of split the cost and all that with Airbnb and just went and enjoyed the city together for those few days. So we're going to get into the weekend. I'm going to talk you guys through as much as I can of what all went on there. When we come back, I will talk to you guys about stuff that I picked up. I did pick up a few things at the convention. I did meet some people at the convention and talk to them briefly. Saw Slippy there, kind of briefly. And I'll show some of the items that we picked up, and I've got some cool stuff. And let's get into it, guys. I'm not a vlogger, a vlogger. I've never really done that. But this is the attempt. This is an attempt. Living Dead weekend, the Living Dead Museum, Pittsburgh, Monroeville, Evans City. Here we go. All right, so we're starting off here. This is where our Airbnb was. Everything in Pittsburgh is on a hill. Pretty much everything. And anybody that lives in Pittsburgh knows of these tunnels, and they are pretty damn cool. One of them is really, really long. I think this may have been the one. I took a couple of videos. So first thing we hit up was Jerry's Fine Used Records. Was up a huge flight of stairs. They only accepted cash. Otherwise, I would have spent a ton of money at this record store. Probably the most vinyl I've ever seen in one spot. Absolutely insane.
Ooh, doggies. Where in the hell are we, Rob?
I don't know. It looks familiar.
It does look familiar.
Look, maybe this garbage will give us a clue.
What is in the trash?
It's comic books. Trash. Look at this.
Do you allow trash like that in your house?
No, voodoo doll. Something to tide you over. This is trash. Somebody sent away for a voodoo doll.
Oh no.
Good thing those things are fake.
So yeah,
That's right where that belongs.
the house still looks pretty much the same as the movie.
Yeah.
I'm kind of shocked.
They did add that addition over there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks great. I love the
Very cool. And they have their own Facebook page and everything. And
jack-o'-lantern.
they want people to come and, I mean, the owners are really cool setting this stuff
Really
up.
cool.
Yeah.
This is really, really cool.
So yeah, there's a little film that we did, the Creep Show House. The owners and everything, they are on Facebook. I think you could just search for the Creep Show House on Facebook. Very impressed with the props and everything that they provided for fans to take some cool pictures of the Creep Show House, which looks, like we were saying, primarily the same as it did when the movie was made, aside from that little addition they made on the back there. Very cool spot to check out. So a lot of you guys may know what this is just based on the monochrome, baby. The hill up to Evans City Cemetery. And don't worry, I didn't film all this in black and white. This was, of the sites, I think this one for some reason was my favorite. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that it's a graveyard, so most of it hasn't changed at all from the film in 1968, and it's a public place, so you don't have to worry about pissing anybody off or staying there too long or making too much noise or anything, because all the inhabitants, of course, are dead. But yeah, we got some really cool photos from this spot, and everyone remembers this picture or this grave tombstone here. Nicholas Kramer passed away back in 1917, and who would have thought that he would be a star posthumously, or posthumously. There you go, that's what it was. And this is another iconic shot from the movie, and we tried to recreate that as well with the tombstones there. And this shot here took a little bit for us to find, but I think we got it. What do you guys think? But yeah, this is high recommendation, guys, to go check out the Evans City Cemetery. We talked to a few fans that came up there as well. Then the next day, we, of course, went to Monroeville, or Monroeville, as that sign says. And there is a few shots from the outside that are dead on from the movie still. Not much has changed there. And I'm recreating the fat zombie scene in the movie, and here's an open shot of the mall. Everyone has to get their photo with the Romero bust, if you will. And there's a poster of the Living Dead weekend. Mike Gornick, the director of Creepshow 2, recognized me from something. He was like, "You look familiar." I'm like, "Well, I don't know if I have you on Facebook or not, sir, but we love Creepshow 2. And we got to talking to him for a while, but I didn't get any autographs or anything there. Our good buddy Chris McGibbon, run into him. I didn't even know he was going to be there. And my wife and I visited the Living Dead Museum.
CIA does not produce any public information. Why are space experts being consulted about an Earthbound emergency? So far, all the betting on the answer to that question centers on the recent Explorer satellite shot to Venus. That satellite, you recall, started back to Earth, but never got here. As the space vehicle which orbited Venus and then was purposely destroyed by NASA, scientists discovered...
And it was only like $8 to get into the back of the museum. They've got lots of cool memorabilia and masks and busts and screen use stuff as well. Totally worth the $8 to check it out. Now, some of the masks and all that were not that great. They probably could get better ones. But a lot of this stuff was really cool. They've got like a history of zombies in film and even, I think, video games. They have some video games up there too, and Scooby-Doo and Zombie Island and even House of the Dead, representing some of the old school zombie video games. The Walking Dead, which, you know. And there's a collection of the Living Dead weekend posters. And they even have some stuff here from the Evil Dead movies. I think primarily Evil Dead 2, which is really cool. This is actual screen used stuff. Cabin doors, styrofoam blocks. There is the window with shutters from Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn. And we're posing in front of it, of course, because, you know, not much in life is free, but this is, aside from the $8, free. Some screen used Dawn of the Dead stuff. Little creep show corner there. On into Day of the Dead, Dr. Tongue. The Crazies, if you will. Which I think a lot of the Crazies was shot in Evans City. Which if we ever go back, we'll look at some more filming locations. I know Martin and the Crazies and all that. It would be cool to find some of those spots. And this was a cool little display they had there. The zombie flyboy, which you could take your picture with, of course. And just a lot of random memorabilia from the movies. The original soundtrack. Some books, newspapers, comic books. There is a Tom Savini cutout machete from an unidentified production. Savini was kind of known for the cutout machete. And down the hallway, they had a lot of the one-sheet posters on display. They even had Fulci zombies, you can see there. A bunch of different Dawn of the Dead / zombie posters. There's a recreation of the head appliance for the helicopter zombie. There's an old school Dawn of the Dead shooting location. Whatever, you know what I'm saying. Monroeville Mall JCPenney's escalator. I don't know where in the hell they got this at. Some Dawn of the Dead Land of the Dead lobby cards. Some screen used Land of the Dead stuff. There is the Wall of Fame, or the Mall of Fame, where over the years they've gotten the handprints and signatures of everybody that's been involved in the Romero Dead movies and that's visited the museum. Right. So you could stand and look at all this stuff for quite a while. They've got the dates on there too, so some of these go all the way back to like 2009, I think. Maybe even before that. So I thought that was really, really neat. And there's a one-sheet signed by a gazillion people. And a bunch of the 8x10s that they've got signed. And this was outside of one of the convention rooms. Me again acting like the fat zombie guy. And we're leaving Monroeville Mall, boss. And, you know, a fun day. We were there for a couple of hours that day. And we did later on that evening visited the steepest street in all of the United States, which was a pretty big deal. So that is it for the video, guys, as far as, that weekend. We had a lot of fun. The Living Dead weekends, I wish we would have shot a couple more things to show you guys, but honestly, we probably should have got there on Saturday to film video. I didn't feel right about filming Sunday since it was so slow, and a lot of the vendors were gone at that point. But it's a great idea to do a convention at Monroeville Mall, and it seems like the hardcores really, really love it. And it is a celebration of George Romero's career, his legacy, and all that. It's one of the only directors that I can think of that is in such high regard. He started his own genre kind of and has his own convention, and his legacy will live on forever in the hearts of all the fans and all that. But it was a fun time. It's a high recommendation, like a destination spot for horror fans. I did pick up some stuff I wanted to briefly show here, and then we will get going on this video and on to the next one, which we're doing Cruel Summer all month here on, or all summer here on DEADPIT.com. But anyway, here's some stuff that I picked up. The first stop of the weekend was the Severin booth. And I was going to buy this anyway. I came close to getting it, just ordering it and being like, fuck. But I did save $10 by getting it at their booth. It is the limited edition, getting some reflection there, of the Delamorte Delamore 4-disc edition, 4K. It comes with a little book and all that, which I'll show you guys. The booklet here, which I got to be careful. There might be some titties in this. Very nice glossy book. And, 4 discs, including the soundtrack. So that was pretty cool. And my buddy Rob picked me up this poster, which we were eyeballing this pretty early on at the convention as well. And I want to give these guys a shout out because I do have their card here. Vile Consumption is the name of the company that does these posters. And as you all know, I'm a huge fan of scary stories to tell in the dark, and they had a lot of spoofs surrounding this artwork here. This is scary stories to tell in the season of the witch. So you see the artwork there, kind of of course, a play off Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. And this is orange. I don't know if you can tell in the video, but it has the Scary Stories logo made up just like the old school books. And thankfully he picked this up for me. I did get the Living Dead weekend program from the Living Dead Museum, and they have all of the guests that were there. They have a ton of locals that was in Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead. Some even from the Creepshow movies, I think, as well. Lots of people, man. And it was overwhelming. I mean, if you're a gigantic Dawn of the Dead fanatic, it's a perfect place to get some of the rarer signatures as this Living Dead weekend show. Rob also spun the wheel and made the deal. And they included like a ton of 8x10s in this $20 gift bag that he won, I think. And one of them was this Night of the Living Dead era photo of George A. Romero. Very young Romero there, black and white and all that. He had 2 of those, so I was like, hey, how you got 2 of these, boss? And he, of course, because he's a great guy, Rob is. Scott Raw, Monster Art, look him up. And he does have a dirty book out that I wanted to mention on here. I think this one is available on the Instagram if you just search for Scottra, Scottra on Instagram. And this is a new X-rated book. I think I can show that. Called Spurt. And the book is only $5, and it has some dirty images within, but very tastefully done. I'll say that. So check that out too. And the big item that I picked out, and I was debating this. And there was a poster that Kelly hooked me up with as well, but it's like rolled, and it's like 24 by 36. I really have no way of showing it decently on a video of Land of the Dead that she spun the wheel and gave me the Land of the Dead poster. Well, I spun it. Actually, she let me spin it, and I just picked the... But anyway, you know how it goes. So this is signed by... There's 15 signatures on this, and they were selling these at the George A. Romero Foundation booth. And I thought this was killer artwork, and it's signed by a ton of people. A couple of signatures that I'd never got before, like Russ Striner and John Russo. And as much as I love John Russo, I mean, those are a piece. Those would have been $80 had I got both of those guys. So I just got them in addition to like 13 more autographs on this kick-ass poster here. And I see Galen Ross is on there, Jim Crut, Nick Tallow, unfortunately passed away recently, Tom Savini, Gary Striner is on there, Tasso, John Amplis, Joe Shelby is on there, Tony Booba, Sharon Hill, lots of signatures. This was $100, and I know, yeah, $100, but to me, I mean, that artwork is badass. I love how they've got the meteor shit all over the creep show style artwork there. But yeah, guys, that is it. I didn't want to do a gigantically long video for this. Would I go to Living Dead weekend again? Yes, but I would go on like a Saturday if I was doing it again. Now, to be honest, there weren't anybody that I really wanted to meet at this show. A lot of these people were convention all-stars. They've done shows for years and years and years. I saw all of them again. Tom Savini was there. Tom Atkins was there. I did get to briefly see Fred Decker, which I'd never met before, but I've got Fred Decker's autograph like a dozen times, you know. So, but it is what it is. They did like a creep show, Night of the Creeps sort of thing this year. I think people dug it. We had fun. It was great to see the sights, to see the mall and everything. And if you're a fan of Living Dead, the George Romero legacy and all that, definitely hit up this area. Pittsburgh, Evans City, Monroeville. You will not be disappointed. But guys, thank you for watching the video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you have visited the area, let me know some other spots. The Permane Brothers, a lot of people recommended that, but man, that did not sound like something that I would like. I hate coleslaw, and fries actually on the sandwich, I don't know. But that's not to say I would never try it. We did go buy a few of them, but yeah, I don't know. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Keep it creepy, and stay tuned to DEADPIT.com. Give us the thumbs up.
Up you butt.
Like, subscribe. And if you subscribe, here's something else you can do. Once you subscribe, you can click the bell notification, right? And it'll notify you anytime that Dead Pit puts up new shit.
Or don't. I really don't give a fuck.
I want you to. I don't care. Let's keep our community growing here on YouTube.
I don't like it. I don't want you to do nothing.
Listen, they need to do that, pal.
No, don't you dare touch it.
Thumbs up. Subscribe. Click that bell.
There's all kinds of wonderful shirts over at shop.deadpit.com. Simply the best horror shirts. On TeePublic, there are others, but they all suck. You can get some Dead Pit Radio shirts. You can get Last South on the Left. The Hills Have Eyes. Texas Chainsaw. Oh, wait, you can't say Texas Chainsaw. All kinds of shirts, folks. You're gonna love them. Shop.deadpit.com.
Thank you to all of our supporters on Patreon. Dead Pit on Patreon.com is the only place to check out
a complete archive of the old Dead Pit Radio shows all the way back from 2005 on, in addition to the midweek shows, fan commentaries, exclusive podcasts, and much more. Dead Pit on patreon.com if you're interested. Tiers start at only $1.
We ain't